Boo. Hey, it's the guy making videos about the game. That's me. That's me. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. I'm on a slightly heavily modified version of the space map today. Cortana? What are you guys talking about? What are you talking about? My wife? Oh, of course. Welcome. So, as you guys may or may not know, over the past few streams, past several streams, I've been working on the space mod, but there's been a major problem with said space mod. What is that problem, you may ask? You can't play it. It is non-functional. It, don't get me wrong, is really cool. Looks great on video. But yeah, I mean, it's not playable, so like what's the point? So that today, that's what I'm gonna fix. Today, I'm making it so every single spaceship is going to be playable, starting with the one behind me, the UNSC Frigate. And from there, we're gonna make it so massive ship-to-ship combat is possible. Get that dog off the stream. It's just me, my lovely wife, and many large, beautiful ships here today. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, I did in fact finish Cortana. I mean, I finished as much as I could, I guess. Wait, didn't I already do this? They're flyable. All the ships are flyable. But there are problems. For one, they're not destroyable. Two, they don't have proper weapons. And three, they are way too big. These ships need to be shrunken down majorly. Majorly. The problem is no interior? That's not a problem. People ain't going to be running around your ships. You're simply going to be in them. Now, once I get the ships scaled down in size in a way that players will never notice, so it feels full scale, I'll be able to add in all kinds of cool stuff. I'll be able to add in custom sounds, so you'll hear people be like saying voice lines like, "Warning, ship's hull integrity is at 60%. We're venting atmosphere," and cool stuff like that. Can you both do the thug shaker? Yes, but not right now. But maybe. Maybe. Can Cortana do the gritty? Yeah. Will she? I don't know. Venting? Star Citizen looking sick. Yeah, there won't be any first-person interiors and stuff, but I am going to make sure the mod feels full scale. So here's how I'm going to do this, ideally. Let me explain. So currently, I'm on this giant chunk of whatever, stone, concrete, blurry stone, concrete, and on my side of the map here, we have the UNSC Frigate, which I'm taking forever to walk to. There's the Pillar of Autumn, and behind it, you can't quite see it from this angle, but it's the Spirit of Fire. On the other side of the map, you can see, just barely, a Covenant Corvette right there, a Covenant Cruiser right there, a Covenant Destroyer right there, and then an Assault Carrier over there. Now, these ships are obviously extremely large. And it's really silly that they're just sat on these big flat plains like this. Spirit of Fire, looking good. And yeah, it's a bit silly looking. But this is how I've had them sat for now. What I will be doing is removing these planes and making it so the ships spawn in. So essentially the map looks like this. It's a big cube, right? I'm going to put in little windows. I'm going to put in like walkable spaces that players can be in, with little windows that let you see into the space battles happening. And then from those windows, you'll literally see out there. But while you're in space, you won't see those windows. So it'll be like a little spawn room. You pick a ship, and you get into the fight. From the window, you won't be able to tell the size and scale being smaller, so when you're actually playing, it will feel like the correct size and scale of everything. This also means I can make the ships much, much faster. Not like insanely fast, but like lore fast. You know what I mean? Demon, thank you very much for the $2 super chat. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Custom normal maps? Yeah, I'm going to be getting to the normal maps on both the Spirit of Fire... Actually, no, wait. The Destroyer has good normal maps. The Spirit of Fire, however, does need better normal maps. It's using the temporary normal maps of generic space junk that I've just tiled onto it. Doesn't look great. I'll be giving it a custom normal map treatment soon. I'll go into Substance Painter. I'll be waiting to give it normal maps until I go all in on upgrading the Spirit of Fire itself. Today, I'm mainly going to be focusing on the Frigate because, in my opinion, it's going to be the quickest ship to get fully working within this mod. This Frigate here already has destroyed models within the game, and it should make it pretty dang easy to turn into a fully destructible vehicle, I think. So, I think what I'll do is first, I'm going to place a super carrier, or do I want the super carrier? I guess I'll put the super carrier. It looks pretty cool. 0, 0, 0. We're going to, man, I just fixed it. We're going to move the super carrier out into the middle of space, like so, and I'm going to do something brave. I'm going to take the scale of it to 0.1. That's right, 10 times smaller super carrier. Which is still really big from the player's perspective. But this means we can get a sense of scale. Demon, thank you for the $5. By the way, sung you a song. It's in your DMs. Alright, I'll check it out later. Speaking of songs, I gotta turn this song down. It's a little loud. I guess I'll hit the webcam up. Look, it's me, a real human being. Hope y'all are doing good. I'm a little messy today. I was partying last night, so I'm a little tired, a little exhausted and all that good stuff. Sorry, I hit the mic. Demon, thank you for another $5. Also, read what Anthony LaMonica posted. Recommend checking Ultimate Forge discussion channel on your Discord. I ran math on how to scale things down. Okay. I'll give it a look. Let's see. I'm scrolling really far up. I don't see anything. I've gone back a month into the channel. Are you sure? Oh, I see it. Not sure if you started downscaling the vehicles in your space battle mod. I see, I see. Okay. I mean, I was just going to take everything and scale it down like 10 times. I figured that would work pretty good. Although, admittedly, that would make the saber very small, but I think at that scale, things will work really good. Can you compare them to a scarab? I guess I'm going to have to. So, just for testing an engine, I'm going to add in a scenery object of... Oh, I already have it. Perfect. Okay, let's add in the frigate. Very beautiful. Very good looking ship. We love the frigates here. Let's get repositioned. So, if I scale this down 10 times... Oh, it already is. Perfect. Is it? No, it's not. I don't think I can scale this object. Maybe because it has a physics model. But if it's 10 times smaller, it should be a bit bigger than like a Pelican, I think, which is a really good size for a ship. Darksteel, thank you very much for the 2. Banana for scale? I think the banana might get overshadowed a little bit. Just a little bit. Growing a mustache? Oh yeah, I guess it doesn't show up well on stream. Nah, I just, I'm a little unshaven. I've got like facial hair. I guess my mustache shows up most on stream. It's kind of bad. I need to shave. Just feeling a little mildly hungover. It'd be like that sometimes. What's the biggest problem with having actual scale? Yeah, basically the issue... Oh, hold on, let me switch to live chat. The biggest issue with scale is that the game itself and the skybox kind of de-renders. If I go like really high up, you can kind of see things disappear. The reason for that is that the skybox on this map follows you, and I think this is the perfect skybox. So essentially, I'm just going to cap things out so that you never see stuff disappear when you get to the top of the map. And I think that should work pretty good. And by scaling things to really, really small, like 1/10 of their size, which is really not that small, things should work and look pretty darn good. Demon, thank you for the 5. Wait, he has his webcam on? We can see his face start talking about Halo 4, so he flips out on camera. Let the meme die. Just let it die. Just let the meme die. Just let the meme die. I'm not gonna mod Halo 4 anytime soon. I don't know why I can't scale this, actually. Very strange. Might be some setting in the scenery object. But yeah, looking pretty spicy. You'll love to see it. Let's make a really small frigate. A very, very small... Actually, before we move on to the frigate, I do want to test something, okay? So obviously I've made some changes to the map where there's these big old concrete slabs on either side just so I can place some ships on them, which is kind of cool, I suppose. But those are obviously temporary. We're not going to need those in the future of this mod. But I want to try out something. I want to make a teensy tiny little room that you can peek into the map through. I'm going to try putting it over here. So all I have to do is make a little cube, put it in this main collection, and I'll do room test. And where's my cube at? Okay, it's all the way out here. So I'm basically going to take this little cube. I'm going to make it the size of a room, and I'm going to... Oh, it's a really big room, but whatever. I'll place it over here, stretch it a little bit. And what I basically want to do is I want it to be like outside the map, but just barely, so you can't see it. It'll be behind the skybox. But it's going to have a hole cut in it. So I want people to be able to see into the map, but not see back into this room, if that makes sense. Hey, Darksteel, thank you very much for the 5. Halo 2 Anniversary has a better engine than Halo 4, and needs mods way more desperately. Will you mod Halo 2 Anniversary and probably be the first? Probably not. Halo 2 Anniversary is slightly more upgraded from Halo 4, but it also has issues with lighting and things. So I've heard anyway. I'm not super familiar with it. But no, I don't have any plans right now. Let's cut a little bit into here. And cut a little bit into here. And I'll turn this cube this little bit into a window. So basically make a material. I'm just going to call it concrete B. That's fine. And then I'll make another new material, which I will call glass. And honestly, that should be fine. I think it'll be fine if I just put it glass. We should be able to see into the map with that. So, being hidden behind the skybox, it's theoretically invisible. And then with glass, should be fine. And then I do flip the normals on it, which basically makes it so it's an inside space instead of an outside space. Set it to be in the game engine as a structure. And I don't know, theoretically that's fine. I'm gonna try putting it in the game. Oh, wait, let me do shader paths. Let's see if there is just a material named glass. And if I got away with that. Let's see. Oh, yes. Kitchenware shaders glass. Perfect. Sure. Let's put that into the game now. God, I love the reach tools. Okay, I don't see a room out here or over there. And there's a room here. Oh, I don't think I assigned it. Whoopsies. Assign. Save, export. Demon, thank you for the $5. One on each side for each team? Yeah, exactly. So, I'll make it basically work like, how do I explain it? This is a test room, obviously. Oh my god, this is so big. It's a massive room. Holy crap, let's shrink that down a little bit. But yeah, it will be basically a space station spawn point in the final version. But for now, it's just a test room, because I want to do this proof of concept. Hold on, let's go in-game. I'll change the shader path here to objects. Or let's do levels, multi. I don't know if Forge World has glass. Sure, let's do that. Shaders, panels. Oh, here. Forge glass. And we'll export that out and see if we get it looking good. Demo Gaming, good to see you. Thanks for the 5. Hi, I made it. How would using Anchor 9 as a spawn point with a single room? I've tried to use Anchor 9 as a spawn point in the past, but I haven't really had any luck with it. Because it's like a million triangles, but I'm going to do some tests to see if I can't get Anchor 9 into the map in the future. Because it would be really cool if it worked. Holy shit, this idea actually worked. This is really cool. Look at this. Okay, hold on. Let me shrink the room just a touch more, because it's still really big. I'll move it ever so slightly closer. And then I guess, shoot, I'll make the UVs a little better. Alright, we put it in the game. Okay, what the fuck? I can no longer see out. It became opaque. I've made a terrible mistake. Can I see anything through it? No. New shader. It worked, though. It did work. Demon, thank you for the $5. What about the Lich? Ah, the Lich would be a good addition to this. I like that idea. Bum ass glass. Yeah, that looked bad. We can do better than that. Let's just do, is there a shared glass? Shaders. Generic. Human. Come on, there's gotta be glass in here somewhere. Oh, here, glass. Glass, window, dirty. Nasty, dirty glass. Add a hover hog? I don't know. I'll definitely put the Space Phantom in. Bruh. I just saw through the glass a second ago. Wait. Is it because there's nothing on the other side? I don't know. It was just working a second ago. Is it because I put it too close? Try that. It worked a second ago, but not now, huh? Very interesting game. You just like to mess with my head, don't you? It's literally material fuckery. You messed with the glass. Yeah. I think if I change it back to a different type of glass, it might work. Oh, you know what? I bet it's like material fuckery. Where I have to go into the material. And then make it mode flags. Oh, maybe that's not a thing anymore in Reach. I was gonna say, oh, here, light, no, that's light map. I guess there's nothing for it. I was gonna say maybe I have to make it assigned as a little, why not just effectively hit Control Z a bunch of times? I mean, you're not wrong. Could always get back to the point where it was working. I think it was working back here. Let's try that. Yeah, there we go. That looks pretty good. We can see out into the map. As you can see all the ships over there. You can see the ships over there. And then when I fly out of the room... Oh. Wait, we're not supposed to see the room there? Well, there was a point where we didn't see the room. Time to Control Z some more. Okay, the room is now invisible. And... There's gotta be a way. I think what I actually need to do is, in fact, shrink it down back to a very teensy tiny size. Throw it up here. Do that. So the thing is, it's not actually connected to the BSP in any way, so nobody can see it. But I might actually, in the end, make it a real space station that you can see. Just make the windows stick out more into the map. Let me try this, and if it doesn't work, if it doesn't let you peek into the BSP that's near you. Yeah, it doesn't look like you can peek into the BSP after all. So, in that case, I'll have to, suppose I'll have to do something like this. I don't know. Does that work? Let's see. This is gonna look cursed as fuck. Well, that did bring it into the map. And it is very cursed. Kinda cool, though. Oh, right. This is solid. That's pretty cool. Just a window. I think it being some sort of stationary ship would be cooler. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think it would be really cool to have this be essentially a space station. And that's kind of what I want to do in the end. Like, you spawn in, you're in some kind of a space station. You can see the battles going on in the distance. You're like, ooh. And then you can, like, go hit a hologram, enter, like, a saber or a frigate or a cruiser or whatever. And there'll be, like, a Covenant spawn room. Nothing too crazy. Maybe just, like, a hangar. Like a smallish hangar where you just, like, hit a button and the game teleports you into a ship and spawns one in and you begin... And meanwhile, you can, like, sit and spawn and just, like, watch the battles going on around you. I think that would be really cool. So, I like that idea a lot. Planning on modding something in Halo 3 ODST? Yeah, eventually. I don't have any current plans. Maybe I'll finish up that ODST mod where you, like, drop pod into battle. That would be cool. Will this be massive ships? Or there'll be smaller stuff like Seraph, Sabers, Space Banshees? Yeah, there will be smaller stuff. 100% there will be smaller stuff. I'm gonna have Sabers, Seraphs, maybe Space Banshees, but they're pretty small and useless, so don't know about the Space Banshees. But yeah, Sabers and Seraphs and stuff will be in, and on top of that, I'll add in Space Phantoms, maybe a Space Pelican. For the love of God, do not make anything smaller than about 1 meter. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about that, I'm not gonna lie. When you make things really small in here, even when you set it to uncompressed, it gets a little rough. So I may have to do some scaling in-game rather than through the assets themselves. One way or another, though, I will make it work. That is my promise. So, I guess let's make a really tiny frigate. now that I've got my little spawn room in where we can see the space battles, which is pretty cool. Just curious, Longswords are known for dropping bombs and nukes in mods. They're sort of Covenant equivalent? Not currently, no. Just the Seraph. Torture Condor? Yeah, the Condor would actually have a really good place in this mod, I think. That'd be pretty cool. Okay. Let's go off of the map real quick, and instead, let's make a teensy tiny frigate. So here is the current frigate. And the great thing about these big ships is that they really don't have any moving parts, which is pretty cool. Demon, thank you for the $5. Can't scale the Lich, can scale the Infinity. No, I can do both. The Infinity was, yeah, so I do want to add the Infinity. The one thing that's really worth noting here is currently, the current setup of vehicles is 1 frigate, 1 cruiser, and the Spirit of Fire. But the Covenant has Corvette, cruiser, destroyer, and the big capital ship. And that's uneven, obviously, where you have 4 big ships for the Covenant and only 3 for the humans. And I think these are relatively balanced for the first 3. The cruiser, the frigate, and the Corvette, and then the destroyer and the Spirit of Fire here, which I don't actually know the classification of, unfortunately. But basically the humans need an equivalent for the Covenant assault carrier, which I think, or I guess technically it's a capital ship or whatever. And I think the gameplay-wise, the Infinity would be a really, really cool, what's the word? I don't know, like an equivalent, basically. So yeah, I would love to add the Spirit of Fire. I have a file for the Spirit of Fire. Phoenix class, that's it. But I'm really excited because now that I'm actually implementing these into gameplay, we're going to be doing stuff like creating plasma missiles and massive lasers. Probably won't include a glassing cannon because it's kind of pointless, but maybe. We'll see. You do realize the CAS class is an assault carrier, not a super carrier? Yeah, that's it. That's what it is. It's the assault carrier. Alright, so basically, we're going to make a really small frigate. I'm going to take everything in here. Scale 0.1. Drag it over. Actually, where was the center point on this? The center point before was directly below, intersecting this slightly. Well, basically just drag it back over to the same point. It's about there. And theoretically, this will work. Theoretically. But I do need to go to the model itself and make sure to tick this little box that says uncompressed. That way, even though it's very small, its detail-packed model will not be, like, dying. So we're going to call this frigate small. And, yeah, I think I can just make a new folder for this and export it. So, since I already set everything up, theoretically, no issues. But we do objects, vehicles, me, and I'll make a new folder for it. UNSC frigate small. And I'll probably make this for every vehicle. I'll have the big ones, like the ones I've been testing and working with this whole time, and then I'll just have a separate small vehicle for it. So let's export that asset. Make sure there's no errors, which there shouldn't be, because it's already been set up on the big scale one. All I'm doing is shrinking it. There's no valid bones. Theoretically, that's not an issue. Maybe. Okay, it's computing lighting. Wow, that is really slow. That's okay, though. Now that we're in game, I can go ahead and let's do... Well, let me turn that off. I'm going to go start setting up the folders so we can get this in-game ASAP. Objects. Alright, let's see. Tags. Objects. Vehicles, rejected shotgun. Sorry, you guys can't see it yet. We're going to wait until the UNSC frigate small appears, and then for this, what I need to do is give it the model tag here, or probably not the model tag, actually. I'll give it the vehicle tag, and then I'll basically just like backwards add stuff to it. Oh my god, it's still computing bound sliding. Holy hell. It's gonna take a little while. Maybe a glassing cannon that points forward instead of straight down? Nah, it's got. I want to make it relatively vanilla. I don't want to start making stuff up. The mod has to be lore accurate. Yeah, relatively. This ain't no Sins of the Prophets uber polished stuff. This is just for fun, cool, like third-person space gameplay battling. And add the CCS class. I mean, I'll add everything I can within reason. I don't want to like overload it, but some variety in the mod would be a lot of fun. Demon, thank you for the $5. Oh, so we're not having any players run around on the battlefield? Like, no players jumping off of liches onto other ships? No, unfortunately. While I would be very happy to do that, it's probably not possible in the engine. It's very sad, but that is just the reality. Missed my dono? 3 minutes ago. Thank you, Darksteel, for the $5. Appreciate ya. Halo 4 Spartan Ops missions have various UNSC spaceships you can use that aren't Infinity. Really? I actually haven't seen those. I should take a look and see if any of the models would be good to use in Reach. More UNSC ships, the better. Plus, anything that was added after Halo 4 is technically just another UNSC ship. Also, I like Halo 4 Plus's UNSC ship designs. I think they look really cool. I'll take a look at those. We can add some new Reach ships using that. Any plans on adding Plasma Lances? Maybe. I don't really fully understand what Plasma Lances are yet, so I'll do my research and homework, and I'll have to get back to you on that one. Alright, here's our new Frigate Small, but it's using the wrong model, so let's grab that. Saved. And check in game. We'll add it in and see if it works. It might just work off the bat. I have no idea. It might have like a weird animation issue or something. But I think it should, based off everything I know about the engine, this will work first try. Hey, there we go. It's a little cursed, but it technically worked. I'm going to Blender and see why. It looks like the collision models, yeah, it's set as a render model. Oh, everything's set as render models. Oops. Copy to selected. There we go. These are all model markers. Okay, yeah, weird. The physics model and collision model and everything were just like, I don't know. They got reset to render models somehow. Probably because I switched over to Halo 3 tools for a little bit while I was working on a video. Plasma Lance was the pink beam? Yeah, okay, they're called Plasma Lances. Yeah, I don't know. I've been calling them like energy laser beams. Yeah, those will be in. Alright, I think we're good now. We are untextured. Okay, how big is this? Okay, this means the saber is going to be really tiny. But that should be okay. This is a good size for the ship, though. This means we can have some really big battles. That also means I can add boosts to the ship, so you can be, like, flying at a reasonable pace, and then, wham, hit the thrusters. I could theoretically add in small slip space jumps into the game now, because the map is going to be so big relative to the ships that taking small slip space jumps could be a real thing. Am I making all ships miniature? Yeah, I'm making all ships miniature. Still to scale. The players will be allowed to walk around, but just in separate spaces. You'll be able to see the ship battles, but Yeah, I mean, the game's not in 3D, so you'll never see depth and be aware of the fact that the ships are like scuffed. That actually makes a lot of sense. Yeah, unfortunately I have to. It has to be done. Okay. Shader Finder, update shader paths. One more time we export. And then we should get the updated one with textures in here in no time. The only downside to scaling things down is that I do have to shrink all of the effects manually, which will probably take me like 10-15 minutes per ship. The upside to that, though, is that I get to make lots of fun custom effects as well while I'm taking the time to do that. So I'll make like a cool boost for the frigate or something. Okay, I updated it, but I'm not seeing textures working. This is a render model. This is a collision model. These are physics models. Talk to me. Oh, all of the names of the materials are wrong. So we will go materials, find 0.001, replace with nothing. Find 0.002, replace with nothing. Find 0.003, replace with nothing. There we go. I probably should have checked the material names. Now it should look like a frigate. Oh shoot, sorry, I'm somehow missing super chats. Sorry about that, you guys. Welshman, thank you so much for the 10. Appreciate it. Hey mate, love the mods. Maybe dumb suggestion, but when a player chooses their ship, can you have the ship look like it's doing a slip space jump in the battle and do the dot announcement? Yes, that's a really fun idea. I like that a lot, actually. Originally, I was just going to have them kind of like materialize in, like that blue warpy effect when an object spawns. But yeah, it would be a lot cooler if it like slip space jumped in and went wham with like an animation, and then a player was then able to drive it. Yeah, that's a really cool idea. I'll definitely do that. That's awesome. Halo Pilot, thank you for the 2. Appreciate it. Would you make the booster frame from Halo Legends? No, because that would be like a Spartan on foot. Plus, this battle scale is too big for a booster frame, unfortunately. And Ashlet became a member of the Covenant. Good to see you, Ashlet. Hope you're well. Oh, dear God. What's happening to my tiny frigate? Okay, okay. We're just gonna solve this one step at a time. I already know why it's doing this, but let's run in to the vehicle settings, and I will set the flying torque scale to 1. It's a little too speedy still. We'll do 0.5. And then on the physics model of our teensy tiny frigate, I'll do the same thing I always do, which is set the angular dampening of the physics model to 0.5. And in order to actually see our cool frigate here, I'm going to make the camera actually correct so it doesn't look teensy tiny. I think the Pelican dropship camera might be good for now. Let's try it. Let's do the longsword camera. Let's see. Oh, my eyes. Okay. Dropship? Oh, it's a little zoomed in there. The effects are also a little bit large. A little heated, a little overheated as far as the engine effects go. However, oh, that's sweet. Nice. Okay, this is pretty good. It moves way too fast currently. So let's tone its speed down a little bit now that it's a little bit smaller. I toned it down 10 times. So I'll take the maximum forward speed. Do I make it go down 10 times? I think I'll do that for now. I'll 10 times subtract everything for now. I'll bring everything back to its default values. A little hard to see because the effects are so wacky at this scale, but if we go out, yeah, it definitely needs to be a little faster. Let's do 20 as its maximum forward speed. Okay. Okay, it's pretty speedy. Let me make it so we don't stare at all these boxes. Looks a little silly. I'm gonna have to make its turning look a little better. Hey, Ashley, thanks for tipping 5 into the tip jar. Much appreciated. Like the stream, ingrates. It's true. Listen to Ashley. She knows what she's talking about. If you like the stream, YouTube's algorithm will be happy, and more people will want to see cool Halo mods. Thank you for that, Ashley. And then he said, also, he's never beating the allegations that he's afraid of Halo 4. On another note, did you ever finish Cortana's labia normal maps? Okay, for the record, that was a meme. And that was your meme. And I never said that. Should really get on that. No procrastinations, big boy. I did finish Cortana, actually. I forgot to share. Where is she? She's around here somewhere. Cortana. She's glitching out because we're really far outside the map. She's like shaking violently. But there you go. Ported reasonably well to Halo Reach. It's Cortana. Sheesh. The deed is done, you degenerates. Make her sit in the gaming chair. She doesn't have animations right now. I don't think... I'm gonna have to do some manual stuff to make it so her animations work. But yeah, right now she can't do anything except exist. We'll get there. We'll get there. Halo 4 Cortana models a redeeming factor. Real. Real. Oh, I don't know. I'll do something fun with Cortana eventually. Make her fart into the camera, please. No! Stop! Calm down. Relax. I can't lie, that looks kind of cool. Okay, but I guess the next thing we need to do here, with the frigate technically being flyable like this, a little too zoomed in, but I don't want to bore you guys with... Well, I guess I should probably do the camera track, actually. I'll zoom out the camera track super quickly, and then we'll do some badass engine effects stuff. I think that'll look really good. So we'll do that. I think my camera lighting's a little cursed. That's fine. Alright, so right now, the frigate is using this silly camera track, Dropship D. I'm going to take that, going to go into the folder for it, Unity frigate small, this will be frigate small camera. So just as a test on the frigate small camera, I'm going to multiply the backwards distance by 1.5 and see if that's too much. This is only on one camera point, so... Let me open calculator. So you guys can see that's the zoom point we're at. I'm going to see if 1.5 is too much as far as the distance goes. It's honestly kind of hard to see. I do not know. Well, so let's multiply the height as well because both will have to be multiplied. That's pretty good, actually. This might be a decent distance. It zooms you out of the frigate pretty far. You can see what's going on around you. Yeah, I think 1.5 is actually a pretty good distance. Yeah. Would be able to ram smaller ships? I might do something like that. Making the collisions deal damage will probably blow up both ships or just deal an insane amount of damage. I would like to have really interesting effects because you're not really going to be ramming into anything except other ships and maybe like an asteroid or something. So I think what I'll do for collision effects is have like a ton of sparks and damage and scrapes, loud noises and stuff happen, debris shooting out, that kind of thing. And it should deal a substantial amount of damage in my opinion. I might hijack the game itself. So in Halo, as you probably know, there are collision systems. You take damage when you hit stuff. I think I'm going to make it so the collision of you hitting something is going to do no damage. And the collision of things hitting you is going to do no damage. But I'll instead create my own collision system where the effects that spawn when you scrape against something or sparks come flying out and debris comes out, what I'll do is for each collision effect that plays, I'll spawn in some damage that, like, so big heavy impacts will spawn a damage sphere that does like a pretty substantial amount of damage. Scrapes will slowly spawn in small damage spheres as you scrape along things, and that kind of thing, to kind of get rid of the regular Halo Reach collision system and move to a effect-based collision system that I can control the individual values of without having to tinker with the like first-person shooter-oriented collision system that's built into the game, which should allow for more realistic collisions between ships and structures, hopefully. Hopefully. Hey, Steampunk Foxy, thank you very much for the $20 super chat. That's huge. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. Does this mean a laser light show from Covey? Yes. I can picture it like the ending of Halo Legends, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of lasers and plasma missiles coming from the Covenant ships. And the UNSC ships are going to have like big turret bullets, missiles, and MAC cannons. It'll be sick. You'll be flying your ships around while a giant Covey capital ship just looms overhead. Dope. Billowing flames for sure. The venting atmosphere would literally be on fire. Oh yeah, there's going to be all kinds of great effects on these ships. I'm really excited about it, actually. But now that I know the camera track looks good, I'm going to take care of that really quickly. So I'm so sorry, but for the next 1 minute, I'm going to be copying and pasting camera values from my calculator app. So let me just do this super quickly so that we can actually see the frigate as we work on its effects in a moment. And, yeah, you know, it'll look good. So, timesing 1.5 on all these values. Very boring, I know, but just stare at the beauty of the frigate or something. I don't know. I want to be fucking flashbanged while playing this mod. So yeah, the Covenant's ships will do a decent job of flashbanging you, and I'm really excited because the, whatchamacallits, the MAC cannons, that's what I was trying to say. Sorry, copying and pasting and be like that. But yeah, the MAC cannons, I'm really excited because they are really interesting in gameplay. They're like snipers that you can't aim very well. And what's cool about that is you don't get to fire the MAC cannon where you're aiming. Instead, the MAC cannon just fires directly forward. And I'm going to try to get a HUD element on screen that shows you where the direct forward is of your ship, and that's going to have the MAC cannon reticle. So it's not going to be like how it is right now. You see there's that MAC cannon triangle, and that's just going to be like a turret or something, because that's where your turrets will aim, because your turrets can actually rotate. Your MAC cannon, however, cannot. I think it would be a little silly if the MAC cannon could like adjust its like angle of firing. So instead, you basically have to line yourself up perfectly, and that's going to make the MAC cannon turn into kind of a super powerful skill weapon that deals insane damage to Covenant ships. Mostly after you take their shields down. I'll make it not deal that much damage against shields, I think, and then make it deal insane damage to Covenant ships' hulls. I think that would be very cool. Okay, last value is in, and I think the frigate's camera is now good. Yeah, there we go. Sorry that took so long. It's super boring to watch, but now the camera values have been multiplied successfully, and the ship looks pretty good. Skaboodly, thank you so much for the $5. Appreciate it. Curious what you think. This is a question for you and everyone. I've tried to keep the Paris-class frigate at lower scale for the interior, but it just does not work. When I scale it exactly 2 times, everything fits perfectly. How would you feel if I made it 2x so it would work? So it would all work? I think it's a great idea. Do it. Don't worry so much about the lore scale of stuff. Like, look, there's information on these things in the wiki, but if I'm being real, like, the Paris-class frigate is just a big ship. It's just a big spaceship, and it was designed by game devs, and the lore people later on said it was exactly this big, but like, whatever. I don't care what the lore people said. In gameplay, it's got hangars that are supposed to fit pelicans and stuff. Make it fit pelicans. Alright, I guess now we can make the frigates FX scaled down. Before we do though, the coffee I had before stream is doing a number on me, so give me 1 second. I'm gonna use the restroom super quickly. And I'll be right back. 2 seconds. Okay, I'm back. So, let's get to work on making this frigate look good. Getting the FX to look 1-to-1 shouldn't pose too much of a challenge. The frigate's effects themselves are relatively straightforward. It's just going to take some tweaking. I suspect it'll be like a 15-minute job to get the effects looking nice and good at this scale. Skaboodly super chatted and then... Oh, Nintaku! Good to see you. Thank you so much for the 20. Very generous. I appreciate it. Yo, haven't been able to tune in for a while. Glad to see you're still going strong with the amazing mods. Keep up amazing work. Hope I can catch more soon. Thank you so much. That was really kind of you. I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. Halo modding is a big passion of mine. Probably do general game dev going forward, but like... For now, I just want to do Halo mods. Halo mods are cool as hell. So I will. But first, I must make this space mod. And that means we take this. Oh, there's so many FX. So let's start with the engine FX. Well, okay, we have the main engine effect, right? We'll take it into our frigate small, make a little FX folder for it. And then we have a sound, that's fine. The engine glow, lens flare, we're going to need to grab that, and we're going to make that a lot smaller. Bring that into here. Then we have a prismatic lens flare, which looks pretty cool. I like it. And we'll take that into here as well, into our little FX folder. And then we have a lens flare, literally just called a bright lens flare. Steal you, go away, into our small frigate folder. And next up is the anamorphic lens flare, which is actually the nicest looking one in my opinion. That's the one when you're at just the right angles. You can see it does that kind of rainbow shimmer. That looks really cool. A very cool lens flare. And then what's this? Engine dial. Oh, right. This is the light that it casts. That's making the entire backside glow orange right now. And then lastly is a sound looping. So we have frigate engine large sound looping and another one. Oh, right, because there's two engines, of course. Been busy with the Infinite Season 4 release and other stuff? Oh, I'm sure. Season 4 looks sweet. I haven't played it yet, but I'd very much like to. Okay, I guess I just gotta scale this down 10 times. Other than that, it should be perfect. All I did was change the size of the ship, so... Radius curve, 0.5 and 3.5. Just move the decimal place, and all the lens flares should become accurate, hopefully. This becomes 2 and 1.5. This here becomes 1.2. And then last but not least, we have our last lens flare here, which becomes 2 and 1. Literally just shifting decimal places, and it works. And then the light, which has a radius, lifetime, destroy properties, clip planes, blah, blah, blah. Intensity, color. Maximum distance the light reaches. So we'll do 0.7 to 1.5. Let's see. Did that not do it? Oh, maybe I have to reduce the intensity? The lens flares seem to be good. You can kind of sort of see them. But the effects and the light volumes on them are so bright and wild, you can barely see a thing. Alright, let's start tuning the effects. Still not sure why it sounds like that, but whatever, that's fine. Last but not least, did I miss anything? I don't think I missed anything on the lights. Should be good. Yeah, I think all is well on these. Okay. Time to make the very cool effect. So the main things we have to worry about at the beginning of editing an effect like this are the parts, and not just the particle systems, but the parts. So we have this light volume system called large engine. And if you don't know what light volumes are, basically, this large engine light volume system, it's kind of like a light blob, I guess is the best way to explain it. A little light blob that, yeah, I guess it's just that. It's the big glowy light blobs, those big blue glowy light blobs. So I made a copy of that one. Then we have the engine small light volumes, which is the much smaller light blobs for the little baby engines. And then we have, oh right, there's tiny engines as well on here. So we're going to take the little tiny engine light blobs and move them into the folder as well. But the good thing is, now that we've gotten all of our light blobs over here, I can edit all the properties of them to fit our much smaller frigate here. But Demon with the $10 super chat, rolling through. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Just realized that because of Spartan Ops, any custom Halo 4 campaign is technically canon and can just be made as Spartan Ops. Green put Yap Yap into Spartan Ops. Anything is canon if I say it is, because it's my head canon. But what happens if you make a custom Halo 4 campaign and it's like Shrek versus Lightning McQueen? Is that canon because of Spartan Ops? Okay, let's move a decimal place. On the length, let's move a decimal place on the, is it profile thickness? Does that just work? I'm not sure if that's how that works, but the length is good. Whoa, holy shit. Demon, thank you for the $50 super chat. That's huge. Thank you so much. What the fuck? You realize, you always say, you're like, oh, the only reason I do big amounts on super chats is because, you know, I just want to send a large message. Meanwhile, you just super chat a 50 and say, yes. Okay, well, clearly I see that what is wanted is Shrek versus Lightning McQueen mod, so I'll just lock that one away in my noggin for now. Now that I know what the people want and what must be done. Thank you so much for the 50. Okay. Maybe it is profile length. No, because I've got regular length, we've got offset, and the thickness, which I do believe needs to go to 0.7 and 0.55, which looked correct. But the other thing was the density, I believe, which is at 1 currently. And I believe I have to put that to 0.1 to match. It's really hard to tell with these massive particles. But that might be right. I'll have to go back and tweak them, but in order to tweak them again, I definitely need to go and do the other engine light volumes to be able to see. Hey, Disturbed Waffle, thank you so much for the tenor. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. I don't know if you meant to put a message with that, but just write it in the chat and I'll try to pick it out if you did. But thank you very much for your support. Okay, tiny little 0.9 to 0.1 length on this engine. The density will be 0.2, and the profile thickness will be 0.3 to 0.25. And that should fix the small engines, I think. And then the last glowy fun zone, aka light volume system, is the tiny engines, which will have 0.5 and 0.05 as their sizes, a density of 0.3 and a thickness of 0.2 to 0.15. Just like that, all the light volumes are kind of fixed, although I can no longer see any of them. So let's start with the large one and get the density back up to 1. We'll cut it in half. Looks like the density should just be at 1 is what I'm getting here. And in fact, a different value should change. Maybe profile intensity to 0.3. Not quite. Was at 3. What if I just put it in half at 1.5? Not quite. Also, it seems to be rendering double-sided, which is not ideal. Hey Demon, thank you for the $5. Appreciate it. Wait, you ever play the old COD Zombies? What about the Wunderwaffe DG20? I only played the COD Zombies with my brothers casually. I'm not really familiar with all of the like intricacies and details of it, unfortunately. I was never like a huge, excuse me, super fan of it. Okay, sorry, I was messing with my mouse speed. It's kind of hard to tell what's going on with the parts because everything with the particles is so, like, insane. So I'm going to have to scale everything down. From my big brain maths here, I think what I need to do for this engine to make the particles not look so insanely massive is set their scale to 1/10 to match the frigate, and then set their velocity to also be 1/10, and then if needed, I'll have to set the whatchamacallit, the radius that it emits from to 1/10 of its velocity. So let's do that really quickly. First, the distortion exhaust, which makes my eyes hurt. I will set the emission rate will be the same, but the scale, which is probably really big, 5 to 3 will become 0.5 to 0.3, and the velocity, which is will go to 1 and 1.3. Let's see. Okay, I think that made it a lot more subtle, but it's kind of hard to tell because these are distortion particles and they're basically invisible. So we'll move from distortion to jet thrust particles. So this is for the engine larges. So we'll go do the exact same thing for these, and it should look good. So the initial velocity will go 0.8, 0.2, then the scale, which is 1 to 0.5. I'll do particle size down to 0.5 and 0.4, and that theoretically is all I need to do here. Although it looks a little bit small still for what it is. Might have to up the scale after all. But for now, I'll just keep moving on to the next particles, and then we can tweak everything from there. Because while the math does technically check out, unfortunately, sometimes things just happen. We'll see. Core Rejected, good to see you. Thank you for the tenner, man. That's super generous. I appreciate it. Hello, Rejected. Just got paid. Here to spend $10 for you, and I hope it will be a good stream today. Well, I very much hope it's a good stream, and I'm having a good time, so I would say the answer to that is yes. And thank you very much. Once again, I really appreciate it, man. Every time you guys super chat or donate into the tip jar, I don't know. It's just like, it's good to know that the work I do is appreciated. I do it mostly for me because I like to see this stuff, but I know you guys like it too, or, you know, you wouldn't be here anyway. It's just kind of nice, so thank you. And Demon with a $5 too, appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. So here's a question, because I'm curious how I sound in your head. What voice do you give my jester in your head? I don't know. I think I kind of just read everything in my own voice, to be honest. Is that weird? Everything in my head just comes out as my own voice. Yeah, I don't think I give it a voice. It's just kind of me reading it. 0.8 to 0.1. Alright, last but not least, we got one more particle, and then I can start tuning them to find out where the errors in my logic lie. So the initial velocity will go 0.6 to 0.1. The size will go 0.1. Whoa! Steampunk Foxy with another $20 super chat. Thank you very much. Shit. Appreciate it. From Disturbed Waffle. Is the Vindication class light battleship a possibility to add to this mod? Is the dono text that you meant to add? If so, here you go. Oh, apologies. I'm real tired. I'm physically exhausted, and ADHD is still a hell of a drug. Vindication class light battleship. Let me look it up. Vindication class light battleship. Wait. I've seen this before. This thing is sick. Isn't that the Infinity? No, that's not the Infinity. What is the... Ship class from Halopedia. Wow, it looks really dope. This is what it looks like. I would imagine this is only in Sins of the Prophets currently, but yeah, it looks really good. If there's a model for it that I can use, I probably won't be modeling any ships myself anytime soon. I'll be reaching into Halo 4, and if there are any assets for it, Halo 5 too. And yeah, I'll be taking a look at it. Absolutely, this ship looks crazy cool. But yeah, I'll definitely be taking a look at it. 100%. The UNSC does need another ship, and while it'll probably end up being the Infinity, I think more ships is more better. So I think I got that, and the velocity. Okay. I have technically scaled all effects down. The engines look a little bit cursed, I can't lie. Well, I'd scale everything down to 1/10 of its original size. I can't shake the feeling that it looks wrong, like somehow it's smaller. Don't get me wrong, clearly the light volumes here are having some trouble. But other than that, there seems to be some other issues. So let's take a look. What are the issues at hand? The profile thickness, I think, might be too small. The density being at 1 is making it really bright. The length itself is fine. Oh, brightness ratio. This might be what I'm looking for. Average brightness, head-on side view. No, that seems to be fine. I suppose I can try it. 0.24. No, that's not it. I like 2.4. So I'll have to make some adjustments to that, though. So let's see what values. I'm not 100% certain on every value within light volumes, so I'll have to, like I said, play with it a little bit. I've taken the thickness way, way down to reasonable values from where it used to be very large. And profile alpha should be fine. I think it might just be the intensity. 0.3. Let me refresh, just in case some attachment issues have appeared. Look how tiny this little ship is. It's so tiny. It looks okay, I suppose. Definitely got some issues, especially with the light volumes being so weird looking. At long last, you have no choice but to get Archer missiles up and operational. You bet your ass. Archer missiles are going to look sick. The profile length is at 5. What if I set it to 0.5? Is that kind of screwed up? Yeah, I kind of just don't see it anymore. Let me bring the intensity back up to 3. So changing profile length and length seems to have done some interesting things. Let me play around with these. Oh, I see. I see how it works. Length is the actual length of the entire thing, while profile length seems to be tied to the length of the individual pieces of the light volume. When I have it up, I think it's the not the profile thickness, but the intensity of everything individually. I'll have to scale it down. It's clearly on a different type of scaler than linear. So let's try 0.5 for the intensity on it. I don't know why it's all blue. Let me see how it looks on the main frigate. Right, let me get rid of the scenery one. This is the full-scale frigate here. I want to get in and see how these engines look. So by default, it's got these like powerful blue engines. Kind of like spotted point lights there. Lens flares doing work. Can't really see them too much. Okay. And so on this, we need to make sure the light volumes are visible from the start. So what I'll do is bring this back up to its original values and begin slowly but surely bringing things back down to their original smaller values. So there we go. This is the original frigate, gigantic engines. And I'm going to bring the length down and see what that changes. Okay, length. I think it needs to be at least 1. Okay, yeah, by having it at least 1, they will appear all the time. But if I bring it below, let's try 0.9. Yeah, anytime they go below 1 and flicker, unfortunately it makes them disappear. So I'll have to keep it at least 1, maximum 2. Bit of a shame, but I might be able to work with that later on. Halo Pilot, thank you so much for the $5. Appreciate it. Keep up this amazing work. I've always loved the ships of Halo and wanted more of them. Thank you for putting so much time and love into what you do. Well, thank you very much for supporting what I do. I really appreciate it. I wanna make cool mods and play them with people and have everybody be hype as hell as like really cool cinematic moments happen. An awesome shark guy, a name I haven't seen in some time. Good to see you. Thank you for 8 months as a Forerunner member. Appreciate you, man. Halo Wars Space Edition. Halo Wars, except you can actually fly the ships. Okay, we have these things no longer turning off randomly. But now we have to shrink the actual size of it. So let's take the thickness to 0.7 and 0.55, which shrinks them to about the appropriate size. Though they now look like giant glowing tubes, but, you know, one thing at a time. So the next thing I'll have to do is make the density 1/10. That seems to make them basically invisible, so I think the density... I'm gonna try having it? No, it looks like the density, if it's anything below 1, yeah, this is another value where if it goes below 1, it seems to just turn off, which means I'll have to mess with other things in order to make that happen. Like the profile intensity, which if I bring down to 1, it's actually pretty reasonable. So when I set the length over here from... It was 5.5 to 20. I think what I have to do actually is change the profile length to 0.5. Okay, it's actually starting to look like how the engine's supposed to look. I think I just have to kind of mess with it myself and get it to a point where it looks good. Well, that's cool. It's kind of like an aerospike engine or something. Well, it still needs a bit of work, but it's actually not looking half bad. And then I make this 5, perhaps it'll look good. A little bit of a balance I'm gonna have to strike here. I think I've kind of got it down now. There was a balance I was needing to strike for these engines. I think I've finally gotten it. So the main engines look pretty decent. The lens flares, I think, just need a little bit more work. But yeah, it's actually looking pretty good. The frigate is slowly beginning to work as a teensy tiny little vehicle. The main issue that's bugging me, however, is the fact that it doesn't really turn very well. I don't know if you guys noticed, like the turning on it's not very intense. Looks like the maximum roll is 45. I'm gonna make that 90 for the ships. So that anytime I'm turning while moving, it'll do this. Hey, Core Rejected, thanks for becoming a Covenant member. That's huge. Thank you so much. And Halo V Beastie, thank you for becoming a 4-month re-up member. Appreciate it. Will there be space fighters still with the scale? Yes. They will technically be tiny within the game engine, but they will exist. So one thing I'm planning on doing here in space, things are going to be pretty spread out. You have like a frigate here. And by the time you come flying away, the frigate's like literally a teensy little speck that literally disappears after a while. Which, while we're doing that, let me just make it never disappear so it's always rendered. And bounding radius, I don't know, 10. And the... maybe it's in the model tag. Let me see. Yeah, disappear distance, 5,000. So now you'll see the frigate will never disappear. But I think what I'll do is I'm going to make a lens flare on this. So basically, the frigate, kind of like how it happens with objects in space, after a certain distance, they just kind of get reduced to a point of light. So in an effort to do that, I'm actually going to make a custom lens flare. Large engine bright. I'm going to just put this in FX and call it ship distant frigate. I'll duplicate this entry, and I'm going to make this lens flare right here, ship distant frigate, and I'll put it on, let's force it always on, and I'll set it to, I guess I could do driver. And basically, how I want this lens flare to work is, when you're looking at the frigate, the fall-off angle should be 360 degrees. Cutoff angle also 360, so it should render theoretically, yeah, so you can see it right there down below the frigate, rendering all the time. Although I don't like that marker after all. Let's do driver camera. That's whatever. Anyway, I'll keep working on it. So the way it's going to work is distance where this flare starts to fade in will be 1000. Or let's do like 900 to 1000. Like 500 maybe? Distance at which the lens flare's brightness is maximum. 1000. Far fade distance, 10,000. That way it never disappears. And the radius should be, I don't know, 120. Is that bad? Is that too big? Oh, there, you can kind of see it in the distance. That's cool. That's really cool. Make it like 100. And the color will be white. Might be a little too big, actually. It's like 50. So even if you can't see the ships, you'll know where they are. Although I should probably pick a better bitmap than simple flare. What about prismatic flare? Ooh, that's kind of cool, but not quite what I'm looking for. Rainbow flare. No. Star flare? Star flare is kind of cool. As I'm approaching the frigate from the distance, you can kind of see it. Star flare fades out as you get within distance of actually being able to see it. Maybe I'll reduce the brightness so it's not so crazy. Because right now the brightness is a little bit much. Let's see. Demon with the $5. Thank you very much. I'm a dip. Love the work you're doing and know this. I'm joking 90% of the time when I joke about Halo 4. Yeah, you're good. I got you. I got you. Thank you for that. And thank you for that $5 as well. Also, you didn't read the super chat I sent before the last one. I don't. Oh, you're right. I didn't. My bad. I didn't see it. Thank you for the $5 though. I can ruin that by saying he canonically sounds like the Mad Hatter from cartoon Alice in Wonderland. Change places. I don't know that one. I'm sad to say I am unfamiliar. Well, there you go. From the distance, you can see ships because they will have a little white flare on them. And as you approach said ship, the flare will disappear. And you will see it in its full view. And it's only once you get really far away that it kind of just fades into a white flare that you're aware of its position. I like that. I think it's a cool effect. Boom. Ship is within view. Nice. That's cool. Let me in. Okay. pretty rad. I don't even want to scale down the Mac cannon effects. High key, fantastic at this scale. Oh, it's beautiful. I think I do need to still work on the light volumes a little bit. Just a teensy bit. The large light volumes themselves, their length. I can't go below 1 because then it disappears. That's the problem. Ugh! Why does it disappear below 1? It's so frustrating. Don't know why, but I guess I have to work around that. Frustrating, but it is what it is. What is the solution here? Engines look kind of silly when they're super long like this. You can see them through the ship, no less. Hey, Core Rejected, thank you for the 2. What is your biggest plan for Halo Reach modding? I don't know what my biggest plan would be necessarily, but currently my plans are make this Space Battler mod, which will be really fun. And on top of that, make a meme mod, which will just be shit posting basically the whole time, which I'm looking forward to a lot actually. And then I'm making a Godzilla mod, which is a lot of fun, where Godzilla literally like destroys everything. It's super satisfying. And then, is this the right one? It is. And then, I will make a pretty cool mod where it's basically huge grass extinction. Profile densities have got to be at least 2. Hey, that's actually a pretty good middle ground. I like that. That's pretty sick. I'll take it. Alright, I'll take it. It turns out, so my learning through messing with these low light volume systems for the frigate is that you can't have a length. Wait, I do have a length of 0.1 actually. And it's not disappearing now. I guess the density was just too low. The profile density. Well, if it works, it works. I'm not going to complain. But now I know. There's a little secret to it. Looks good. Hell yeah. Hell fucking yeah. Oh, it's doing a thing. If I change it to 0.5. Okay, I think that fixes the issue. Nice. Okay, so basically I just gotta tweak the light volumes until they work good. Cool. Okay, let's do the small engines next. Should be relatively easy, so I'll bring the values back up to their originals. Now we'll have giant engine effects somewhere. Oh wait, I think... What else is missing? What else? What else is missing? Something here is not right. Maybe it is. Maybe I just need to refresh the model. Oh, I can find the ship so easily now because of the little light. Ship is trying to communicate via Morse. It will never communicate. Not on my watch. The one thing I can change is the thickness of the profile, which does need to go down to this length. Now it is the correct thickness at 1/10 its size. Oh, I gotta fly it upwards a little bit. Then look down, and that should let me see the engines a bit better. Stop. Okay, now I can see the engines pretty decently. So the next thing I have to do now is literally just balance out the length of it with the profile density. So if I set it to 1 to 2, brings us down to here. Profile density does kind of have to be at 2. Let's see, 0.5. Not bad. The large light volume system, I think I did, yeah, I reduced the profile intensity by a bit, which seemed to help. So I'll reduce the profile intensity by half here, 1.25 to 0.5. Halving the intensity seems to be doing a good trick, but I do need to make the length a bit shorter. Can I do 0.25 for the lowest? Not quite, 0.35 maybe. Let's try that with 1. No, the maximum length does have to be relatively large. With the density maybe reduced. No, not the density. The profile length here I can set to 2. So profile length to 1. This to 0.5. And the max size to 4. Doesn't look too bad. Definitely too long, but we can fix that. What did I balance it out as here? Length was 1 with 3 to 0.5. Maybe I can copy that. 3 to 0.5 with profile length of 1. What does that do for our engines here? Makes them look pretty good, but they're definitely much longer than they ought to be. It's also reminding me that on the large engine, I want to make the intensity brighter. Alright, we'll have a good angle here. So yeah, I think I just need to tone the maximum length of the small engines down a little bit. Let's try putting them to 0.5. No, we'll keep it at 1 and then make the maximum length 1.5. Then make the profile length double. No, profile length 1, 3 to 0.1. That's pretty decent. Pretty decent. Oh, I can just up the profile density and it looks better. Nice. Then I could probably reduce the intensity a little bit. Now I'll keep it up a little. So I could probably reduce the intensity of this a bit. Not bad, not bad. This has to be a 32 by 32. This would be sick if it was 32 by 32. As for these small engines, though, one thing I've just noticed is that the small engine particles should be these, yeah. They do have a emission radius of 0.15. I'm gonna make it point. Actually, I'm just gonna make it 0.01. Looks pretty good. I am becoming happy with this. The last thing I have to do now is the very, very small, tiny engines, which has a emission radius of 0. Perfect. Particles themselves already look good. Now I just need to do the tiny engine light volume. So I'll bring this back up to its standard, where it was at before. Profile thickness. Actually, that should be fine. Alright, refresh. We zoom over to the tiny ship. And yeah, we can see those tiny light volumes look like little daggers. Now we tweak those, then becoming slowly but surely an expert on light volumes. Let's get away from the spawn area here. Why is there noise in space? Because we're in the ship, of course. So the vibrations are going through the ship's hull and then vibrating the air that we are inside the ship. Why is there no women in space? We have Cortana. It's okay. We have women in space. It's all good. It's all good. Alright. So let's make the length like 1 to 0.25 on this. And then the profile length down to 1. And the intensity needs to go way the hell down. And it looks like we're having some... Let's make the... Wait, what is the length on this? On this one it's 0.1 to 3 with a length of 1. Still makes it way too long, so it's half that length. Bring us down to 1. Make the density 1. Make the density 2, 1. Density 3. Okay, that's clearly too small. Length 2. Length 5. Length 0.5. 2. These little engines are a pain in my ass. This should be fine. You can kind of see that they're on. I have some particles coming out. I think if I refresh it, it should look good now. Nice. That looks okay. Can't necessarily complain. I think it looks pretty darn good. The frigate is sized with decent effects now. If they go off screen, I think I have to do a thing. Hold on. This keeps bothering me because what happens is none of these particles continue as usual when off screen. They are not expensive and they should be always appearing even when off screen. Yeah, there we go. Now the particles will continue to render all the time. Well, ladies and gents, our first vehicle is officially scaled down. It looks pretty good. It looks the same as it did when it was big, minus some slight alterations in the effects. This is gameplay ready. Well, it's not. I need to make it blow up and also have a custom weapon arsenal. But, yeah, there's a scaled correctly Covenant assault carrier, which I can fly through here. I'm terrified of trying to get the Corvette down to this scale, truly. Let me try taking the small frigate's physics model and undampening it, because I'm noticing that it might be the cause of the weirdness with the movement. Oh my god! That is why we do not dampen. That is why we do dampen. Not bad. Not bad. Nah, that's too fast of a turn. Turn rate scale and boosting. No. Maximum roll, yes. That's for steering animations. I guess that's the only control I get on these vehicle types. Okay. Our frigate's looking pretty good. Now, there's a... So if I wanted to make this frigate complete, let me lay out in my head the features it would need. Destruction states, fire erupting out, debris flying everywhere. So I guess, yeah, there's smoke in space as well. Gas would expand outward. What else? Voice lines allowing you to that plane, letting you know, like, you've taken damage and stuff like that. Surprised it's only $5 in the tip jar. Hey, everybody has slow days, you know, and I can't expect people to be trying to shell out tons of moolah all the time just for little old me. I'm just out here doing relatively mundane work on this mod, so maybe if I was doing something more exciting and content-filled, it would be a little better. But currently, I'm just doing a lot of small value adjustments as I take a vehicle I technically already finished and bring it to a new scale. Are you still doing the AI voice lines? What about the ones I sent you? No, I'm not going to use those. I'm going to use the AI voice lines. Oh, that's cool. You can see it moving. I appreciate that you want to help, Joe, but unfortunately, I've already got a vision for how I want to do this. Alright, look at this. You can see it moving out there in the distance. So you know, you're like, oh shit, I gotta go for that target. Maybe you do a warp jump over and bam, you can see it. Speed here. Boom. There it is, traveling. That's super cool. That's so cool. You're gonna go. Have a good one, Core. Good seeing you. Oh, that's so satisfying. Alright, Frigate do be looking pretty good. Maybe I should make the lens flare appear even a little closer. Because from this distance, it's still kind of hard to see. But I kind of wanted it to be like an extremely distant thing. Yeah, maybe that's a good distance, because you can see it from certain angles. Yeah, that's fine. Should make the spawn room anchor 9. True. I should make the spawn room just better in general, to be honest. Where is it? Here it is. Test spawn room number 1. In need of improvements. Oh, hey, look, you can see the ships out there, the little dots. That's so cool. Oh, we are ripping and tearing. I was jamming. I was like, oh, I love this song. Took me a minute to realize we are out of the Halo Reach soundtrack. Unforge. You can see the frigate all the way from here. I really like that. Now you'll have a complete understanding of what gameplay is happening at any given time. I don't know if I actually want the map to be so big that like you cannot even see ships from this distance, because a lot of the gameplay will end up just becoming like traveling towards ships. How's it gonna give me such god-tier content? Yeah, multi-billion-dollar company can't code for shit. I mean, I don't know. It's easy working on the Halo Reach engine. Stuff just works, it's simple. I don't have to talk to my higher-ups and try stuff and be like, will this be good for marketing? How many credit cards can we get onto the shop today? I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of shit that goes on when you have a big team. Like, get bogged down by corporate stuff. And besides, what I'm doing isn't even that special. There's no guarantee that people would love to play this. I think King of the Hill will have to be the primary game mode for this. I mean, you could do Team Slayer too, I suppose. It would be pretty imbalanced though, because the way ships are going to work in this is they're essentially classes. So this is going to be kind of a class-based ship combat, where obviously you have small fighters and things, which are good for taking out the weak points on ships. Then you have things like the frigate that are smaller and more agile, but don't pack quite as big of a... but they have like a small health pool. Decent damage. Then you're going to have things like the Pillar of Autumn, which is like tankier, deals more damage, but it's much slower and less agile. Then you have things like this, which are just like super units, or this one's not going to be the super unit actually. I think, you know what, now that I think about it, I'm going to have to choose some pretty specific values for how I want to balance these things. The Infinity will be the super unit. The Phoenix class will be just like very powerful. I'm not sure if I should, how I should make the Spirit of Fire balanced versus the Pillar of Autumn yet. But I'll figure it out. I am excited to do collision damage, actually. I think it'll be really cool to have, like, collision damage on this stuff. I kind of want to do the Pillar of Autumn next. Ah, no, I should really focus on getting the frigate up and running as, like, a super high quality and good ship. Special means a lot to me in the community. I think I can't speak for them, but it's still incredible. Bungie never did anything as cool as what you're doing now. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. You know, leave it to modders to do the wacky stuff, I guess. People on Halo want to... You know, if it wasn't for Bungie and everybody, we wouldn't have such great Halo games. And yeah, it's a little sad that they never experimented with going a little crazy with some of this stuff. But to be fair, they had deadlines to hit. They had to ship an entire amazing core game. It's a little bit of a shame we never got this as an expanded mode at some point as an update or something, but hey, you know, it is what it is. They have priorities and things they gotta do, and the base game is amazing because of them. Try to recreate the Infinity. Oh, I'll port the Infinity over from Halo 4. No problem. I already have a Blender file for it. Just gotta get it in game. I think it would be pretty important if I test out whether or not the saber can work at this small of a scale. I'm a little bit afraid. I need a tiny saber. Do the autocannons work, or will they be automatic? They'll work. I'll make it player controlled. I might make these two-seater ships, potentially. We will see. Because I think it's in Halo Reach, you can spawn in somebody's ship already. I'll have to double check how it works, but theoretically, I can do that. Anyway, though, now I want to do... I think I want to do the saber, yeah? I don't really want to do the saber, if I'm being honest. It's so much work right now. Maybe I'll just stick to another ship and try the saber a little bit off stream to give myself a head start. Because right now the saber is like massive compared to this ship. Here, it's like... Yeah, the saber's like so big. The saber's normal size. The frigate's just small. Yeah, the saber's gonna be like a puny little speck on the ground. I don't know how the hell I'm gonna do that. But I'll make it work. Spirit of Fire? I could do the Spirit of Fire, I suppose. It would be kind of fun to do a Covenant ship, but I still need to make this blow up in spectacular fashion. I'm thinking. Because there's so many things. I might just write this down on a Discord channel. Hold on. I'm gonna make a new Discord channel. I'll do it under the supporter chat for all members. This will be... I'll make it a private channel temporarily. I'm gonna make a channel called Modding Status. Modding Status, so basically just want to... Sorry about that, that's probably sounded very loud. On Modding Status, I need to write down everything that I need to do for this mod, so I will do that. Scraping/impact effects plus new damage system by spawning damage values. Then I need damage states for frigates, destruction Gibbs for frigate. Then I need new weapons for frigate, new HUD for frigate. Okay, I'm writing this stuff down. Things are looking pretty good. Oh, God, I wish I was not so damn tired. I'm kind of hungry. I think my roommate's cooking. It smells good. I haven't eaten since breakfast. You know what? How would you guys feel if I ended the stream early to go eat and then got a bunch of work done to show you tomorrow on stream? That way I can get this playtest running quicker. I think that sounds like a really good idea because there's some really boring stuff I kind of don't want to show on stream, and also I'm really hungry and tired, so maybe I'll do that. I think it's a good idea. Alright, how about this? We'll do that, and then tomorrow I'm going to stream earlier. So I streamed I think at like 7 p.m. today. Yeah, I streamed at 7:30-ish. So I'm going to stream earlier tomorrow, and I'll have a bunch of, not like a bunch, but I'll have a decent amount more progress made on the frigate, because my goal is, for playtest, 2 ships, 1 UNSC ship and 1 Covenant ship, fully playable, fully working, probably with some bugs and issues, but fully playable and working, add a little bit to the map, get the spawn rooms implemented, and then do a playtest, and I can definitely have that done within the week, and we'll have a space battle playtest night to make sure the systems all work correctly and verify that everything's good. And then, yeah. Okay, so that's the plan. 2-hour stream hasn't been too bad. Alright. Excellent. Excellent. So I guess on that note, we can just admire that we got the tiny scale frigate in. Looks like it's full scale. Very fucking cool. Alright, we did it. I'll have a ton more progress to show you guys tomorrow. And we'll have a lot more to do on stream. So thank you guys. Thank you for watching. And I have to give a huge shout out, even though it might not look like much because the tip goal is only $5 in. We had a ton of support. Insane super chats today. Thank you guys so much. You've been insanely generous. As I always say, it is only thanks to you and your support that I can continue doing this every day. So I really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream, even though it's been a, a shorter one. I'll have a longer stream, streaming earlier tomorrow, probably around 6 p.m. Central latest. So have a good night, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you tomorrow. So hopefully you're there. Have a good night, everybody.